So today's guest has podiumed at some of the toughest 100-milers in South Africa. Maxi, Mutt, Addo, Mac, Pole, Rock, Ultra, Sleeping Beauty, the list just goes on. But what makes her story extraordinary isn't just the medals. It's that she's doing all of this while raising a family and working a full-time job. She's proof that motherhood, career, and big mountains can go hand in hand. Meet Lodelia Kombrink.
Yay!
Lodelia, take us
Yeah.
back. How did you stumble into this crazy world of ultras? Was there a moment where you thought, yep, this is my thing?
Yes, I can be honest to say that I think I've been running from a young age, and the longer the distance got, the more I liked it. And I think I was introduced to ultra running when I was still a student at varsity, and it didn't appeal to me back then. But a few years ago, after COVID, I think there was kind of a shift for people moving into more into trail running. And I did that crazy thing called Everesting, where you summit a hill or a peak repetitively until you reach the height of Mount Everest. And I think that was
Wow.
where a light switch went off. And it's like, if I can do this, I can basically do crazy things like running 100-miler. And I just put my mind on it and I started to do it.
Amazing. So, do you remember your first 100-miler? What was going through your head at the start line and the finish?
Are you mad?
What was the answer?
Yeah, I was very afraid. I was nervous. I was scared. It's the unknown. So I think for every ultra distance race you do and that distance getting longer and longer, you're pushing yourself into a space that you've never been before. And the unknown is a scary place to be in. So yeah, I was scared. Will I be able to make it? Will I be able to run through the night? How will I
Yeah.
cope? Will I fall asleep? Yeah, just all those things. And I think the most amazing thing is you keep going through those questions in your mind, but then you get to a point where you actually realize you're going to make this. And then your whole mind shift change. And it's just the
Yeah.
most
Weight
amazing
lift.
feeling. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. Most amazing feeling to finish it. And just I think there's for every ultra runner, there's that time period where you just think, what just happened? And it's the biggest accomplishment for yourself, you know. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. You've had some podiums at some really brutal races. Maxi, Addo, Mac, what race taught you the biggest lesson about yourself?
Sure, I must be honest, there's from every race you can take things. But to be there's a lot. My last 200 mile has really pushed my limits mentally. I think with Matt, it's always more difficult to race in your hometown or near your home crowd because you want to perform and you want to make the people proud. But
It's
but
your
it's two
backyard.
races. Yes, where I digged so hard and where I really needed to mentally talk myself through certain phases in the race. Where I was at Mut, I was sick. And to get through that and to remind
Yeah,
yourself
that's
you did do the
crazy.
work, you can get through this, you are
Yeah.
capable, you will survive. That takes a lot of mental energy and the same at Mac. The cold was just nothing. It sounds so stupid, but it was nothing I've ever experienced. And it was insane. And I just needed to constantly remind myself, you're not gonna die. You're not gonna die.
Yeah.
Just get enough to keep you warm. But it's also things it was also
Yeah.
unknown. It's lessons I've learned
Yeah.
and yeah,
Yeah.
big lessons I can take forward.
And all these things make you stronger.
Definitely, definitely. I think every single race, there's something you take from it. And
There's
it's
a
it's not
lesson.
it's not even in your sport that you do. It's something you can apply to your life. It's
For
something
life.
in your daily life and in your daily struggles. And I will always promote and always say this to people that I don't think there's a more relatable metaphor parallel for
No.
life than running. Running is so relatable to your daily life. And
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
really get my inspiration from my running and from my life, and I apply that to the other one.
Wow. Most people struggle to fit in running around their work, and you're juggling a full time job, kids, and podium finishes at 100 milers. How do you actually make all of that work?
Sometimes I also don't know how I make it work. But you do. I think it's all about, it literally comes down to planning. The other day I was
Okay.
running and I was like, there's 24 hours in a day. This is how much I train. This is how much I sleep. This is how much I work. And I was like, um, where's the time for my family, and where's this and this? And it really gets hard. It gets hard. It's not easy. So it's all about planning. My day is planned out from the moment my alarm goes off, sometimes at 4:15 in the morning, 4:30 in the morning, and then everything is sorted. Doing our strength training, running back into the house, getting everything
Incredible.
ready for everyone. I'm the first to leave because my work starts at 7. Organizing
Yeah.
who's going to get who from where, getting my training run in, picking up the Clara, going home. It's like everything is, then it's the washing and the dishes and whatever needs to be done. So you really need to prepare for that. If
And
it's
be
possible,
organized. Yeah.
yes, you
Yeah.
need to be organized and you need to prepare. You need to, I almost want to say it's like you visualize for a race. You need to go and
Mm?
sit and say, this is what it's going to look like, so that you're not
Yeah.
caught off guard. Again, it's that unknown.
Yeah.
If you're
Yeah.
getting caught up in the unknown, you're going to be
Yeah.
rattled.
And figure it out. I call it creative juggling.
Yes, yes, that's a very nice word. That's a very nice word.
Recovery is tough, even for full time athletes. How do you now still find the space for it to work between all these deadlines in life?
Yeah, it's like I said,
How many
it is.
hours are left?
Yeah, it really is difficult. I must say it is nice to have support. You need to have, it takes a village to raise a child
Yes.
and children. So you need a lot of support from everywhere. And I'm very fortunate that my mother-in-law is here. And I've got great friends also running women who
Wow.
supports me. So if I
Love
really
it.
get stuck somewhere, they're always there saying, listen, can we do this? Can we bring you food? Can we look after the kids? Can we?
Wow.
Yeah, it just helps so much. If it weren't for
Wow.
that, then I don't know. And luckily also I've got a very understanding husband. I said to him the other day, remember, when you married me, you know what you're letting yourself in for.
You knew.
It's not going to change. And he's very understanding with that.
That's, yeah.
It's just sometimes it's really a lot of phone calls and a lot of up and down to get things work, but we make it work.
That's amazing. And do your kids understand what mom's doing out there? I mean, how do they see your racing?
Yeah, I think in the beginning, kids don't usually understand, but I take it from my boys back in 2014 when I had my back operation. I really got back and I had this goal that I wanted to achieve. Back then, I was still a netball umpire and I was very actively umpiring. And I also got up early to train and put in the sessions. And I always said to them that you need to put in and you need to sacrifice sometimes and you need to commit if you want your dream to be a reality. And I will never forget that night when I got the telephone call that I was selected for this tournament that I really wanted to umpire. And my eldest boy was sitting on the bed and he's like, Mom, I understand now. All the time you've put in, this is really it. And I'm like, yes, you're going to see mommy on
Wow.
TV. And they were so
That's so
excited.
cool.
And I always say, if you can get your kids to understand that, they might not understand from a very little age, but kids watch. They learn through
Yes.
observing.
Yes.
And also one of my good friends down in Riversdale, the one time we were cycling, and he's like, you should never stop doing what you do because your kids are always watching.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they might not understand at 10 or 13. Sometimes the penny
But
drops
later on.
very later on. But
Yeah.
that will be what's set in their mind and what they remember. And
Yeah.
that will give them a
Yeah.
guide on how to persevere and how to endure and
Amazing.
how to actually get
Yeah.
to where you
Yeah.
want to be.
You are setting an example. Yeah.
Yes.
So, what's the one thing that you want other working moms to hear, especially the ones who think chasing big goals isn't possible anymore?
Think, as a woman, naturally, we are nurturers, we are carers, we are the people that will let someone else go first. That's
Yes.
the reality. We will always sacrifice ourselves. But I think in today's time and life we're living in, it is so important that we must do something for us. Children
Yes.
is not only looking at dads as role models, they're looking at the mothers as well.
Yeah.
And it's very
Yeah.
important. I've got a big thing about identity. I don't want to lose my identity. Running
Yeah.
doesn't define me because you need to look at the holistic package. But you need to do something for yourself. Where do you get your joy from? Where do you prosper? Where do you feel free? Where do you get your ideas from, or whatever it is? So I think it's really, really important that you should not get stuck in a rut where it's just, I've got kids now, I've got a family, I've got work, so that's it.
This
That's
is
how
it.
it's
Yeah.
going to be.
Life's over. Yeah.
It's not. I think
Yeah.
women work just as hard as men nowadays, maybe harder in some cases. That's a reality. That's our socioeconomic kind of setup in South Africa. And just as men 10, 15, 20, 30 years ago needed to relax and just let go, women also need to
Yeah.
do that. And it's such
Absolutely.
a nice way to compete in sport, to be active, to be that example for your kids. And I think it's all about planning. It's about communication. It's about planning. You don't have to do the 2, 3 hours. I always say, just get out there, just start
Yeah.
somewhere, even if it's
Yeah.
20 minutes or half an hour.
Better than nothing.
Yeah, every single minute you spend out there. And eventually that grows. You get into that motion that once you've started, it evolves and things just falls into place. Women are phenomenal. We're multitaskers. We
Yeah.
can do so much. It is just that you need to believe that you are worthy of giving yourself that time and that you actually will be able to manage everything.
I love that. So, when you hear the phrase empowered woman, what does that mean for you?
For me, empowered woman is really living your purpose, loving yourself. I think for me, that's the biggest thing. It's not a competition. It's never a competition. It's what are you here for? And while doing what you love, do you love yourself? We women are
Yeah.
so easy to compare. And I get it a lot where people ask me, how do you do it? I wish I could do it. And I'm like, you do other things which I admire,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
amazing. Each one of us got our own story, but as long as you live your purpose and you love doing what you do and you love that purpose that's put into your heart and you putting it out there, confident in what you do, loving what you do, embracing what you do, then how much
That's
more of an
empowerment.
empowered woman
Yeah.
can you be?
Absolutely. I love that because often women feel like they have to choose it's
Yeah,
career, kids, or their personal goals. And you are showing that it doesn't have to be either or.
yeah.
Was that a conscious choice for you or just something that evolved?
Think for myself, it is like I said earlier, to me, running is so part of my life. And running, when I run in the afternoons, there's so many things that go through my mind. I would sometimes run after work and I would think of a project that I need to do or something that I need to finalize at work. And I will have all these ideas coming in my mind. It's because you're relaxing.
Yes.
And I would always say to people, I need to go around because I need to think of something. Maybe I'm gonna get an idea from somewhere. And that's nice. But running forms, you take so much from it. It's like you get obstacles. You need to
Yeah.
persevere. The same in your personal life. There's sickness, there's illness, there's problem with your children,
It
there's
happened.
financial strains, there's whatever the problem is. And I always take courage out of my running. It's where do I suffer and how can I apply this on my life? Or how what I did in my running to overcome that, how can I
Why?
practically apply that to my life and vice versa?
Makes sense, yeah. Have you ever had moments where people doubted you because you're a mom or because you're still working full time? And how did you respond to that?
Yeah. Yeah, I think
Really?
one of the biggest problems is when you're sitting for 8 to 10 hours a day behind a desk, it gets difficult. And you do get it that people look strangely at you when you say you're full-time working, you've got a family, you've got this, you do this.
Yeah.
They're like, so how do you manage? How do you do this? I even someone asked me the other day, so what do you take? I'm like, what do you mean, what do I take? They're like, do you take some kind of meds? I'm like, no, there's no performance enhancers. Is that what, if that's what you're asking? No,
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer, and I laugh because it's a discussion once a month, maybe in our household, that when you do something, you do it well. So when I have 30 minutes, then I use that 30 minutes well. Don't hana around, make it count. And I think that is an
Yeah.
important thing that I always tell people is we've got 24 hours in a day. I need to spend time
Make
with
them
my
count.
child. It's the
Yeah.
nicest thing. I need to go and watch the rugby games. I need to be there. I need to be there for my husband. I need to put in the hours. So when you do allocate these hours and when you are out there committing to something, do it well. Because then you don't have
Yeah.
to do it again, or you don't go to bed thinking, oh, I should have done that. Regret to me is
Yeah.
one of the hardest things. I never
So,
want to regret. So everything I do, I'm like, I'm doing it to the best of my abilities because then I know it's done
yeah.
and I've put in the work. I don't have to or to second guess or to question myself
Yeah.
about what I've put in.
I think that's such a good example as well you're setting for everyone.
Yeah, I hope so. I try.
No, absolutely. So where do you find the strength on the hard days when, work and family and training just feels like too much sometimes?
Interesting, you should ask that question. Just last week I ran and I was really at a low. We strike lows as well. Everyone strike lows. I get it a lot because people ask me, because you podium and because you do all these things, that they kind of expect that you're always on a high, you're always performing. I don't think people realize how much mentally that takes out of you and emotionally and just physically to get yourself time and again to a point where you are fine, if I can call it that. And I
Yeah.
was running and I was just trying to relax and not think of anything. And the
Yeah.
wind suddenly came past. It was just a rustle in the trees. And at that point, I actually stopped and I turned around and I take a look over George. And the thought came up in my mind, how much conversation there is in the wind. And it was so beautiful to me when that thought
Love
dropped.
that.
And the next day at work, we also spoke about it. And I said, sometimes we just need to be quiet
Yeah,
and
just
hear to the
listen.
conversations that's going on around us. Not literally, but just those things that that makes you feel human, that makes you feel alive, that makes you,
Yeah.
what's the word now? Just value of where we are. So yeah, where do I
Like
get my strength from?
appreciation.
Yes,
Yeah.
appreciation. There's the word. So it mostly is, I think a lot about there is a goal. I might feel now, it's okay to feel down. It's okay to feel
Mm.
heavy, slow, not worthy, but I'm not
Yeah.
staying there. I think the
Yeah.
biggest thing that people should realize and actually acknowledge is it's okay to feel like that. What is
Yes.
not okay is to keep or to stay in that mindset where you are.
Correct.
Mindset, in essence, is everything. What you tell yourself is what's going to be out there. So,
Yeah.
yeah, to me, it is thinking about the next goal. And to be honest, one of my biggest things where I draw my strength from is literally my kids. I want to make them proud. I want to
Wow.
show them that it's fine to
Yes.
push through. It's fine to be
Yeah.
not okay. Pitch, everyday pitch.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
in the end will make you reach your goal. Don't go and sit and feel sorry for yourself. A little bit is
Mm.
better than nothing. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's important. I think you're right. I think feelings need to be dealt with and
Yeah.
acknowledged that you're
Yeah.
feeling down or whatever the case may be, but without dwelling on it. Recognize the
Yeah.
feeling, acknowledge the feeling, deal with the feeling then and move
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
But
No,
suppressing it
definitely.
and or avoiding it or whatever is obviously it's not healthy either. So
No,
you
not
found
at
your
all.
thing.
No,
I love
and
that.
just to come back, it's all about that mental mindset that we get ourselves in and to prep your mind. I mean, many times, just like you asked in the beginning, how do you feel at the beginning of the race and how do you feel at the end of the race? I mean,
Yeah.
at the end of the race, you keep on telling yourself, you're going to make this. You did it. You're strong. You're a, you're
Yeah.
a, you're a
Got this.
survivor. Everything,
Yeah.
you're a champ. And
Yeah.
that's the kind
Yeah.
of wording we need to do during training as well. I mean, there was a stage this year where I need to train and I need to do night runs. It was like driving around, sorting everyone out because that's what women do. Sort out the house, sort out the food, sort out the kids, sort out everyone.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
eventually you can run and you're tired because I'm doing that after sitting 9 hours at work. Many of my runs start with a venting. Many of my runs consist of tears, but I'm like, I'm just getting it out there and I don't
Exactly.
stay there. I acknowledge the fact,
Yeah.
bit of hard words,
Deal with it.
of
Yeah.
bit of moping, self,
Yes.
but yeah, then you
Anger.
get up, anger, but you get
Yeah.
up and you go on, and that's it.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. Deal with the feeling and move on.
Yes.
That's amazing. So if a woman listening right now feels like she's lost herself in her work and her motherhood, what would you say to her?
Yeah, it's you should just never lose yourself. The one thing I will say is don't ever doubt your uniqueness. Ever. Every one of us has got a story. It's like the analogy I used at a school the other day. It's like some people, we're all running. Everyone is running the race called life. Some has got a 5K road race. Others do 100 milers like I do. It differs, but it's still
Yeah.
running. And we're not there to
Yeah.
question why does my route looks different than yours or why has mine got more elevation. I firmly believe we're all equipped for that. And that's why we're on that route. But never lose your uniqueness as to who you are.
Yeah.
And it's true, you can get caught in this routine of getting up, making breakfast, packing bags, but you need to make time for yourself because deep down, that's not who you are. Packing lunch boxes and sitting at work, managing whatever you do, that's not who you are. You need to allow yourself to be yourself. Whether it's
Mm.
by running or just spending time with friends, if you do a social 5K, but that is so important. Never lose your uniqueness and never doubt what you can bring to the party.
Love that.
There's so many inspiring stories, and I always feel humble when people say I inspire them, and I value that. And it's amazing if I can inspire people. But I'm
Yeah.
inspired by so many other people that's running. The person that rocks up after the childbirth doing the first 10K. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing because everyone has got different scenarios.
True.
Everyone has got a bag. Not one athlete's pack look the same and has got
It's
the
the same.
same items packed for the same race. And that's what makes it so nice. So you can always take from someone. Never doubt that you cannot be an inspiration to someone else, but never lose that uniqueness because that's what's going to put value to your life.
Oh, I love that. So, what advice would you give your younger self about power, balance, and possibilities?
Yeah, if I think back now, I was so insecure when I was younger, and
Really?
yeah, and just doubting. And I think a lot of it has to do with just not believing that you're capable of doing so much. I think we
Yeah.
limit ourselves so much with what we're actually able to achieve. And
Yeah.
thinking back, what I will definitely tell my little girl is when she grows up is never believe what anyone tells you. You know what's inside your heart. You know what passion is in there. And
Yeah.
just believe in it. Try it.
Yeah.
If you don't try, you'll never know. And I think that's people's
Exactly.
biggest fear, as we said. It's that
Scared of failure, so you don't even start.
yeah, scared of failure, but if you're not gonna start, you'll never know. And
And you're gonna exactly.
I take that from my recent mat. You know, just if I think what I went through, but I kept telling myself, you did put in the hard work. I know what my base was. I know what I was capable of during my big training blocks. I will not go down fighting. And if I didn't do that, I would never have had that amazing race that I had. So I
Yeah.
think that is absolutely crucial. If I look back at Lodelia as a 16-year-old, I would just tell her, girl, just believe in yourself and don't be so scared to try. I was very scared to try. I was so scared of failure. And I think that was what also what the world is portray us there out there. You know, we're always women has got a certain place. This is what we're supposed to do. This is where you need to be. And
Yeah. Stay in your lane. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
we've come a long way, but I think we're still far, far from where we need to be. So yeah,
Yeah.
to me, I wish I can have that conversation with my 16-year-old, but I have the opportunity to have the
Yeah.
discussion with my kids. And what a privilege that is to make them
Yeah.
sit down and say, listen, take it from me and take all these experiences. I can tell you, I'm living proof that this is actually what can happen. And I think that is just one of the most amazing things as a mom that you can
Yeah.
give
That
your
you can pass.
yeah, that you can give them.
So what's the next challenge you've got your eye on? Is it on the trail? Is it in life? Where can we see you next?
Well, there's so many things. There's always something going on in my mind, something that I want to do personally. Now at work, I've had a tough year at work. It's really been very, very hard. Long hours, yeah, just some difficult decisions where we needed to make. So that is just sorting that out is good. And then it's also nice to have a little bit of a break, just spending time with family, watching all the rugby games, spending time with Clara, go
Nice.
walking in the forest. That is so special. But
Stunning.
obviously, yeah, my mind is set on the next challenges. I've got Skyrun that's coming up, so I would love to go to Skyrun if
Wow. Okay.
everything works out. So yeah, and then a few things here and there. I've been speaking at church and I've been invited to go and speak at schools, and I love that. I just love sharing my
Nice.
story, sharing that
Inspiring. Yes.
yes, that things that what is possible. So that's really a passion of mine. So yeah, we'll see where that goes.
Love that. I absolutely love that. The Delia story is such a reminder that strength doesn't live in one box. You can be a mom, have a full-time job, chase podiums, and still carve out space for your own dreams. If her journey inspired you, go and check out the full interview on my YouTube channel. And while you're there, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next conversation with another incredible woman rewriting what's possible. So, Delia, you're amazing. Thank you.
Thanks. It's so nice. I just love what you do. I love this channel of yours.
Thank you.
Yeah.